Alright guys, section 4 and one word only, and I tell you, you've got a great opportunity to score well in section 4. That's what I say, section 1 and section 4, you should try to score very well. In section 3, you might come across multiple choice and there can be some difficulties, but section 1 and section 4, they are always sentence completion. So, section 4 or part 4, complete the notes below. Write one word only for each answer, no number, only word, right? The future of management. Now what is management? To manage the things, right? Management of any company, management of any school and all that. Future of management, it means this audio is going to be about the future of management techniques, how to manage and all that. You can see there are headings. The first heading is business markets. Second heading is external influences on businesses. Third heading is business structures and all that. So audio will be divided into parts, but it will be played together, right? But when they move from one topic to another one, they will just read that heading and you can easily understand that now they are shifting to that part. Question number 31. Greater dash among companies. For greater, they can use the word big, large, any other word like that, and this thing exists between the companies, right? Now, what is it that exists between the companies? That is the answer. So, if you use your common sense, you can easily reach the answer, but never answer any question in IELTS listening and reading using your common sense. Yeah, there was an IELTS trainer, he used to say, the answer you know already in reading and listening, pehle to wo likh lo. Without reading the passage, without listening to the audio, never try to use your general knowledge in IELTS listening as well as in IELTS reading. So I play the audio. Question number 31, greater means they will use some adjective for that, and among companies, something that exists between the companies.
Well, I've been talking to managers in a number of businesses and reading surveys about the future of management. And what I'm going to present in this seminar is a few ideas about how the activity is likely to change in the next 10 years. It isn't a scientific statistical analysis, just some ideas for us to discuss. One area I want to mention is business markets, and I'm sure a really significant development will be a major increase in competition, with companies from all around the world trying to sell similar products.
Major increase. So major increase means greater. And what's the word after that? Major increase in competition. And you must write the correct spelling of competition. So greater and major increase. These are the synonyms. Is that clear? Good. Question number 32. Increase in power of large dash companies. Dash companies means type of companies. It can be for companies, they can use the word organizations. Like if they say international organizations, and the clue word is large. For large, they say, for example, if they say large international organizations, what will be the answer? International, right? So they will replace large, they will replace companies, but you need to stick increase in power of large dash companies. I play the audio.
Consumers will have much more choice. For instance, food products sold in Australia might be manufactured in the USA, China, Finland, and dozens of other countries. At the same time, mergers and takeovers mean that governments are actually losing power to major global corporations. We can probably all think of companies that exert a great deal of influence, which may be good for consumers.
Governments are losing power with major global corporations. What's the answer? Global. For major, large. For companies, corporations. So the answer is global. Is that clear? Good. Question number 33. Rising. For rising, they can use the word increasing, right? Or any other word like that. Rising dash in certain countries. For certain countries, they can name those countries. Like they say, countries like Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, like that. So something is increasing. The thing that is increasing, that will be your answer. Let's do this.
A third point I want to make about markets is that in the rapidly expanding economies such as India, China, Brazil, and Russia, demand is growing very fast. This is putting pressure on resources all over the world.
Demand is growing very fast. So demand is growing means rising demand. Is that clear? So the answer, yeah, sure, why not? उधर नहीं होगा दोबारा. उधर दोबारा के लिए 35,000 लगेगा. Yeah?
A third point I want to make about markets is that in the rapidly expanding economies such as India, China, Brazil, and Russia, demand is growing very fast. This is putting pressure on resources all over the world.
Okay, now next heading is external influence on businesses. More discussions with dash before making business decisions. Discussions with dash. Now it means the type of people with whom they are having discussions. It can be discussion with government, discussion with people, discussion with consumers, discussion with management. So for discussion they can use the word talk. Talking to the government, talking with the government, negotiating the government, anything like that. Please listen carefully and tell me the answer.
I think businesses are becoming more open to external influences. In particular, companies are consulting customers more and more before making their business decisions. Companies are finding out what they want and providing it, instead of making products and then trying to sell them, which is the model of years ago.
Companies are consulting with customers more and more. So consulting and more discussion with customers. Answer will be customers, plural. Question number 35. Environmental concerns which may lead to more. Environmental concerns, and these concerns will lead to more. For more they will replace it with any other word.
Another influence is that concerns about the environment will force manufacturers to extend product life cycles to reduce the amount of pollution and waste. And, in some cases, regulation will need to be strengthened.
Regulation will need to be strengthened. So, which may lead to more regulation. Okay? Yeah, it's now different way. Regulation. Okay. Question number 36, it's about business structure. More teams will be formed to work on a particular, if you're working in any business setting or any company, you know they make teams to work on a task or project. That's the answer. Okay, so if you read carefully, if you are diving yourselves deeper into it, you can find more teams will be formed to work on particular. I play the audio, please listen.
Many societies are much more fluid and democratic, and the structure of companies is changing to reflect that. I think we're going to see a greater emphasis within companies on teams created with a specific project in mind. And when they're completed, the teams will be disbanded and new ones formed.
So, more teams will be formed to work on a particular project. That's right. Question number 37. Businesses may need to offer hours that are dash. Hours that are, I told you before. For example, if the answer is, okay, let me find another word. If the answer is relaxed hours, so they will say hours that are relaxed. Okay, so now answer will come before hours. Whenever they use the word that is, that means the answer will come before that. Let's listen. Just focus the word hours.
More and more people see work as simply one part of their lifestyle, and not the most important one. And as the workforce is shrinking in some countries, businesses are having to compete for staff instead of being able to choose among a lot of applicants. Typical examples that will attract and retain staff are traditional ones like flexible hours and something that has been made possible by advances in technology, remote working, with people based at their home, abroad, or almost anywhere they choose.
So, flexible hours. Remember, whenever they say hours that are, means answer will come before that word. Flexible hours. Question number 38 is about management styles. Increasing need for managers to provide good. Increasing need for managers. Now, managers will provide good. For good, they can use the word better. Right? Let's see what that is.
Management styles will almost certainly continue to change. Senior managers will require a lot more than the efficiency that they've always needed. Above all, they'll need great skills in leadership so that their organization can initiate and respond to change in a fast-moving world where they face lots of competing requirements and potential conflicts.
Leadership. Exactly. The answer is leadership. Provide good leadership. Okay, question number 39. Changes influenced by dash taking senior roles. Now, something or someone is taking senior roles, so there are changes. Right? Changes influenced by mean type of people, and these type of people are taking senior roles. Right? Now, we just need to see the type of people who are taking senior roles and they are causing the changes.
In most of the world, the senior managers of large businesses are mainly men in their 50s and 60s. The predominant style of management will almost certainly become more consultative and collaborative, caused, above all, by more women moving into senior management positions.
By more women into senior management positions. So the answer is women. W-O-M-E-N, plural. Woman is singular, women is plural. Whenever they pronounce it as women, it's plural. Woman, singular. Okay, now question number 40. Changes in the economy. There are 3 bullet points. So you need to wait for the answer to come patiently. First, they will talk about service sector. Then they will talk about increasing value. And finally, more and more dash workers. Dash workers means type of workers. More and more skilled workers. Right? More and more efficient workers. So the answer will come with workers, and they will even replace the word workers. They can use the word workforce, staff. Right? So you just need to focus and you have to wait for the answer to come.
Many of the changes are influenced by developments in the wider economy. The traditional emphasis of business was manufacturing, and of course the service sector is very important.
Service sector.
But we shouldn't overlook the growing financial contribution of IP, that is, intellectual property. Some books and films generate enormous sums from the sale of related DVDs, music, games, clothes, and so on. Another point I'd like to make is that although I've been talking about companies, one trend that they have to face is the move away from people working for the same employer for years. Instead, more and more people are becoming self-employed to gain the freedom and control over their lives that they're unlikely to get from being employed.
More and more people are becoming self-employed. For workers, they use the word people, and more self-employed. So you can write self-employed as one word together, or you can put a hyphen. Remember, all the hyphenated words are treated as one word, right? Answer is self-employed. Okay, thank you.